Hi, welcome back. We promised a part 2 to our turkey gravy because we did the stock yesterday, and today we're going to show you how to do the gluten-free, dairy-free roasted turkey wing gravy. We're going to take you over to the stove and show you how it's done. Okay, we're going to make our turkey gravy. What we need is equal proportions to grease versus flour. What I mean by that is if you do 2 tablespoons of, let's say, butter, you need 2 tablespoons of flour. And so today I'm doing 4 tablespoons of grease. I call it grease. And then 4 tablespoons of flour, which is a 1/4 cup. So what I have here is the oil that I took off the top of the broth that I made yesterday, the stock. And we're going to use 2 tablespoons of that. Turn it down a little bit. Looks like I turned it too high. Okay, there's 2 tablespoons of plant-based butter. Now, these recipes that I'm showing you, just because they say gluten-free, dairy-free, the only thing that I'm doing is I'm converting people's recipes or my recipes into gluten-free, dairy-free. Now you could do this with olive oil. You could put 4 tablespoons of olive oil, 4 tablespoons of flour, as long as you have the ratio between the two. Okay, now this is nice and bubbly. I turned it down to medium on my stove. And let me show you the grease I had from yesterday, the oil I should say. It's got a lot of flavoring in it. And I'm going to take a little sifter to do my flour because it's going to distribute it better over the bottom of the pan rather than just dumping it in. It makes it a little bit lighter and fluffier too. Now we start whisking it. If you don't have a whisk, you can use a spoon. You can use, this is non-stick, so you'd have to use a wooden spoon. Even though I'm using a whisk, I'm going lightly over the bottom. I'm not getting like in there. Now we want to see that bubble. This is what you call making a roux. Flour and oil. Now you don't want to burn this. Don't walk away from the stove when you're doing this. It's nice and bubbly, and it's got that turmeric in it, which makes it a little bit yellow. Now to this I want to add my stock. I'm going to add 4 cups of the stock we made yesterday. This is 8 cups, so I'm going to add half of it. A little bit more. Okay. Start whisking. Don't be afraid if it looks lumpy, because as it heats up with the stock and the flour, it's going to, I call it, mellow out and get smooth. This looks like it needs more stock. Be a little bit too thick for a gravy. Although I like it thicker rather than thinner. I feel that if you're pouring gravy over the mashed potatoes, it needs to be thick and stick to the potatoes. Not this thin stuff that looks like the broth we made yesterday. That's just my opinion. Everybody's got their own opinion. Oh wow, we need a little bit more. I'll put this in a recipe box. I didn't realize that I needed as much stock, but it must be the gluten-free flour. And we're going to add to this, you always want to brighten up recipes. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of, you know what, Dijon mustard. Now don't freak out, this was suggested both on the Food Network and by other chefs on YouTube. So it's not that I'm coming up with this. We just need to brighten there goes the lid. Brighten the flavor up a little bit. It's getting nice and velvety. Let me do a quick test. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Taste test. Definitely needs more salt. So I got my salt and pepper over here ready to go. We're going to start out with a pinch of salt, as we always do, because we didn't salt the stock that much, remember? Now that's the thickness that I like it. If you like it thinner, add more broth. Put this in the refrigerator. It's like 4 days before Thanksgiving right now, so that I could just pull it out on Thanksgiving, heat it up, put it in a gravy boat, and I'm not stressing over the meal at all. The only thing I'm going to do on Thanksgiving is my stuffing, the veggies, and that's about it. I hope you enjoy this recipe. I hope you made it gluten-free, dairy-free, and I hope it works out for you. Thanks for joining us.